Hello and good evening, everyone. Wonderful, wonderful to have all your presence and to see you again on this evening. And we are going in for the fifth day in a row. And today's approach is how can we bring in that power through our affirmations? Affirmation has tremendous power, and if we can invoke that, if we can learn the art and science of affirmation, we can transform our internal world. We can change our brain, we can rewire our brain and harness that power which can transform our life and manifest things which we even cannot imagine. So let's understand what exactly is the art and science of affirmation. We'll go through step by step, and we will see that this can actually be life transformative. Thank you very much once again, and I would love to have all your presence and love to also see your comments. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for your greetings and being there with me all through and having so engagingly involved in the entire process. Thank you very much. So let's get on and let's start the process. Just a quick recap about when we started this whole journey and what exactly was our objective. We started with a plan how to change our internal state of being and improve our quality of life. So on day 1, if you recall, we discussed about this. We discussed about the conscious and subconscious mind, the power of the subconscious mind, which actually is running our show most of the time. So that is what we discussed on day 1. Then we talked about what is it? What are those limiting aspects, those internal traps, tendencies which are limiting us? So we discussed about the human trap, 6 different aspects which are limiting our journey, which are keeping ourselves in a confinement, and we are unable to bring out our best. We are unable to actually express our potential to the extent possible. So these traps are the ones which we need to intervene, and probably we have to release them, and they are deeply buried in the subconscious mind. So we need certain kind of tools, techniques, so that we can intervene, get in and try to release them. For that, we discussed on the next day about the powers, 3 of the super powerful things which can help intervening in the subconscious mind. So those techniques were, those superpowers as we call them, are inner vision, inner voice and inner touch. Very powerful aspects based on ancient philosophy of this country, and also now validated by the Western science. The materialistic domain or scientific aspect has also seen merit in that. This is what we discussed yesterday. We started with the inner vision, how we can create that inner visualization power through which we can go into the subconscious and change the program there. Certain programs which are not appropriate for our happiness. It is actually holding us back from our potential. So that is what we need to do by changing our internal programs. And that program change, that rewiring is what we have been doing. We are learning yesterday as we discussed about the inner vision aspect. If you remember, we had few simple steps, very powerful steps we discussed. We can have a quick recap of that as well. The different steps are, first, to start with, what we call glimpse recall. That means we look at one object. It can be a flame of a candle, it can be an object, or any other thing for that matter, and then we close our eyes and see it inside our mind. Glimpse recall. Second, in that glimpse recall, as we take a step further, we change the color and form. We call it color form transformation of that object. We are kind of playing around, doing some mental gym. Internally, we are That object, let's a ball, we are changing the shape of the ball, size of the ball, color of the ball. So we are in a way practicing the internal aspect of imagination inside our mind by bringing those changes into that object. So that is called color form transformation, the second step or the second practice. Third practice is space time voice, where we are shifting, traveling. All of you mentioned about I love traveling. So we can travel using our imagination, going to different places. We can go to different wonderful places, like the seven wonders of the world or beautiful places which are there. And we can also go to the outer space, we can go to the solar system, to the Milky Way. So we can expand our imagination and travel through that. In fact, there is another powerful practice, we'll sometime maybe in some of the sessions we'll discuss about that. It's known as astral projection, a very unusual practice where people, with their mind, they project their inner spirit, inner soul, and kind of go out of the body and travel through and come back. This is there are practices which many people they do. Maybe we'll discuss about that in some other session. So by using this faculty, we are now traveling and going to different places, not just places, also traveling through our timeline, going back in history to our past events and enjoying those events. Or we can project to a future event and go there. So we call it space time voyage. Now after space time voyage, we are looking at another thing called journey through the body. Very powerful, very very powerful. The powerful thing of this practice is we can heal our body. As we shared yesterday also in the last session, we can heal our body through these practices. Extremely powerful. We can go to different parts of our body, organs of our body, as if we are witness to them, how they are functioning, what is happening to them, and we are joyfully healing them, blessing them, and expressing our gratitude to those organs. And as I said, as I mentioned, that many of the research which have been done on this suggest that when we pay attention, visualize body parts, we actually heal them in a way. So we can all practice these practices for sure to improve our quality of life, physical and mental health. So that was journey through the body. Then we talked about life situation construction. This is more about using our mind to visit or to visualize situations in our mind. Let's say tomorrow I have a meeting. How would that meeting be? With what energy I'll be engaged in that meeting? How I will be communicating with each person out there? So this is what we can do before even that event happened. Many of the good speakers, they do not practice looking at the script. They actually visualize how they're radiating their energy. That is more important. How they're connecting with the audience, how the vibration is there in that particular auditorium. So all these things we can do by creating, constructing a situation in our mind. We call it life situation construction inside the mind. Also we can do like things like physical exercise. I am running and enjoying that running. That construction actually helps my subconscious to accept it and feel that it is easy for me, I should do it because I have been doing it. As I mentioned, that subconscious mind cannot differentiate much between real and imaginary, actual and virtual. As we all have experienced in virtual reality rides, it's almost feels like real, absolutely feels like real. Why? Because subconscious receives signals and feels it is real in our life. Similarly, we can also intervene, get into the subconscious, making it feel that this is real. One of the aspects that we already have discussed is the visualization process. So now we are getting to the next stuff, the next thing. And the next thing is what we call the affirmation. So far as we have traversed through these sessions, how has been the feeling? How has it been? How the journey has been for you? Just write wonderful journey, if wonderful journey, if you have enjoyed these 5 days. I have thoroughly enjoyed your presence. Many of you have been there all through the days, and very, very engaging and very exciting, open-minded group that we are with, and that's so heartening to see. So, if this journey has been enjoyable, just write that. Enjoying the journey, enjoying this sessions or journey, whatever you would. Wonderful journey, yeah, I can see. Great, 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 great. Thank you for all your responses. Now, today, as we are progressing, going to the next aspect, that is affirmation. Before that, let me just check for once. Is it is the voice coming across fine? Are you seeing it? Are you my visuals? That means my video, audio, and uh, the slides which are there. Are they all coming right? Just mention all good, all good. If everything is good, great, great, great. I can see wonderful journey, wonderful journey. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, great. So now, looking at the context, today we are getting into the affirmation, how to master affirmation. That's what we are going to look at. And before we proceed further, I would again urge all of you, if you like the sessions, please do like, go back to the previous sessions and like them. You can share them and subscribe if you have not done it so far. Thank you very much, and move on let's move on to the slide today and see how this is happening. Affirmation, all of us we know. Affirmation is something where our voice we bring in and feel as if we are that, as if that is what is the that is the thing which is changing in ourselves, or we are feeling that. Affirmation is something that we say and we tend to feel about it. We feel that thing. So, affirmation is some words, structure, sentences which we utter repeatedly and feel that is happening to our life. That's what we feel in our life. So, affirmation, let's look at how we can master affirmation and what it can do to ourselves. Let's look at and systematically proceed through this process, and we will see how powerful is this. Yeah, let's let's look at that. Now, in affirmation, when we are looking at where should be affirmation, where is affirmation? What is the area? What is the area for which we should have affirmation? It is said that first of all, we need to have clarity about it. Unless we have got clarity, it is very difficult for us, for our internal system, for our subconscious mind to get to it. Very difficult for the subconscious mind to understand it or to appropriately get it. That's what is the issue. We have to have the clarity. Normally, where is affirmation? Which domain? What is the area for which we have affirmation? Affirmation normally has got many areas. Like, we have affirmation for health. People say, I need to be healthy. These are the area. Health, body and mind, both we want to be fit, and we need to be healthy in both in our body and in our mind. So body has to be fit, maybe one affirmation we have. Mind also, we have aspiration that I remain calm, I remain positive, with a positive mindset all the time. Relationships, we also aspiration about relationships. So affirmation can be in the domain of relationships, it can be in the domain of wealth. I want a house, I want a big car, or land or a farmhouse or many very exotic furnitures or many other things that we aspire to have in life, or in our work domain, what I want to achieve in my career, what I want to achieve in my business. So, all these things are part of our aspirations. And these aspirations we can achieve by tuning our internal system through affirmations. The achievement can be improved by affirmation. These achievements can be manifested. These can be manifested through affirmation. That's what we are going to look at, and how it's a possibility. We'll delve into that and try to figure out what should be the approach, how I can be a master of affirmation. Let's look at that. How can I be a master of affirmation? Now, the first thing, step by step, we'll go. How to master? Please pay all your attention here. All your attention is, you have to be attentive. You also should feel it with open mind, as I mentioned earlier. With open mind, just be with it. Apply it in your life. And if it doesn't work, you have the choice not to apply it. But definitely try it once. Super powerful. Please do apply. See that it is at least for about 2 to 3 weeks. You are using this, and then you'll find there'll be change. If you're doing it appropriately, you definitely see a change happening inside you. Let's look at what are those steps, how to make affirmation so powerful that things are changing in my life, because I'm changing my internal environment, changing my subconscious mind, and that is what is changing my outer world. Manifestation is happening depending on what I want to manifest. Let's look at each one of these aspects and steps how to do it. Now on, it's all practical skills, one after the other. So please pay attention. You can take note as well. Let's look at this. First one. First, we need to know and integrate categories of affirmation. There are different categories of affirmation. The first category of affirmation is goal affirmation. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say someone is 90 kilogram of weight. Now he or she wants to come down to 75 kilograms. That's a goal. I want to be 75 kilograms. It's a goal. So goal affirmation is, I have a clear cut idea about the outcome, what I am expecting to achieve. So that is goal affirmation. Is it important? Very important. We need to have goal and have some clarity about where I'm reaching. But many times people are just stopping here. And many of the people also say that you just need to do that. Yes, it helps, but for many it would not work. Why? We'll discuss it some other day. Because of our internal tendencies and temperaments. The moment I say I have a goal, I become 75 kilo, then I am having affirmation, I am 75 kilogram, I am 75 kilogram. The biggest problem that comes is doubt. My internal system laughs at me, because there is an internal, what we call a cognitive dissonance. I know I am 95 kilogram. Now I'm saying I'm 75 kilogram. Internally, I'm having some dissonance. If you can break that dissonance, you can very well, you can go ahead and feel. In fact, there may be change in your body. So for that, we have an additional layer of affirmation. So we have goal affirmation. I say I'm 75 kilograms. I can visualize that because I'm projecting my physical body as 75 kilograms. And in addition to that, we have some affirmation which are processes. This is far easier to have. What are these affirmation? I say, since I'm so 75 kilograms, I'm losing weight, my body is fit, I take nutritious food only. I love nutritious food. I love doing exercise. So these are doing aspects. I say myself, I love doing exercise. And body starts believing, as subconscious understand this, the body and subconscious, they start believing, yes, I'm the one who loves these exercise, who loves to have nutritious food. So processes very important, and it can actually help you a lot. Many people who have got dissonance with respect to the goal, they sometimes say absolutely, I'm fooling myself. But here there is no fooling. You are saying that I love nutritious food. When you say it 10 times, actually you tend to believe that yes, I love nutritious food. If there are two kinds of food served, one is like some fried, deep fried and sweets, which is not good for me, and another plate there are fruits and salads, I would take fruits and salads. When you say that to yourself, actual time also you do that, because the internal changing of the neural pathways, they happen as you say to yourself multiple times. So process is the second one. And third is very, very important: identity identity. First one is about achievement, a goal. Second one is about the process, what I do. And third one is what I am. This is more with respect to how you feel. How does a lean and thin and stout person feels compared to a heavy, bulky, or obese person? Feel that. Identity is you are feeling that. This is so very important. When you change your identity, you change your destiny. You feel like a person who is fit. It's just like feeling, I am fit. I'm a fit person. This is I am. The second one was I do. I love. I want. This is process. But here I am. If you can do this, the third one itself, if you can do, you'll find manifestation happens with the affirmations. But for that, you have to have the first two in order. You need to know where you are going, what is it, what is your goal, what are the processes. Then you tend to say that I am that. Very powerful. If you could get this, just right, powerful. When we say the identity is changed, you'll find actually the changes happening in the physiological level. When I say I am fit, the internal body system trusts, believes that it is a fit system. When I say I am happy, the internal system tend to believe that it is a happy person. So I am rich. How a rich person behaves, how he carries him or her. So when we say that I am that, I tend to behave like that. I tend to kind of bring in, invoke those qualities inside me. Then it is actually transformation happening right there. Manifestation is an instantaneous process. The moment we manifest, it is an instantaneous process as I make that identity. When we say, I will be happy if I get this, rather I can say, I am happy. There are two different things, and getting will happen. I am happy, and mind says happy means more money should come. When you change your internal system that you are happy, the natural flow of money would happen if your subconscious believes that happy persons have more money. So when you change your identity, you change the entire energy around you. It's a very powerful process. And this thing, this aspect, let's all practice. Change that, change that identity. Once we change the identity, so many things change in our life. So this is the first step. There are three aspects, but first step, that means we need to know and integrate the categories of affirmation. Three categories of affirmation appropriately we should have. Now we go to the second aspect. So far it is all clear to you what I meant here. Is it clear to you? Write crystal clear. If it is clear to you, please do write crystal clear. Yeah. I trust all of us we are understanding. I'm trying to make it very simple so that all of us we can get it and apply that. Application is the key. Yeah. CC, crystal clear. Great. In short form, CC is crystal clear. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So now moving on to the next aspect. Moving on to the next one. Key to create powerful affirmation. We have to have the powerful affirmation needs three very powerful aspects. The first one is meaning. Let me give you a little background about um, what is meaning, or how we can create affirmation, why meaning is so important in our life. So the background is, in our mind there are certain meanings which are ingrained, known as semantics. There is actually a typical part in the brain, Wernicke's area, which creates meaning about different things. Let me give an example why I say we have to be very clear about the meaning we want. Let's say I want a table. I want table. Table may be having multiple meanings. Yeah, it can be dining table, it can be a study table, it can be a table tennis table, it can be a table for multiplication, which is not even a table. We say it's a table for multiplication. So that's also a table. So having that clarity exactly what I am looking for. If this clarity is not there, there is a problem. And this clarity needs to be very deeply understood. That means when I say that, what my subconscious gets, what is the feeling in my subconscious. So you have to be very clear about the meaning you are using, how the subconscious is receiving it, the meaning of the sentence or meaning of the word that you're using. What does it mean to the subconscious? You can see it is below the surface. You have to see what the subconscious is receiving. When I say that word, what is the feeling comes to the subconscious? That is important. That importance needs to be appreciated. The word or that meaning, how it affects the subconscious, what kind of feeling does come to the subconscious. So meaning is important because meaning brings in feeling. Just write meanings. Meaning brings in feeling. Meaning be feeling. MBF, if you got it. Meaning brings feeling. Yeah, if confusion arises, what to do, please do write that in the chat. We would definitely take it up. Yes, please put his chat. Or I have one more suggestion. You can use the YouTube chat, and later on also in the same video below the comment box, please do write how do you like the session, what are the things that you learned, what is your doubt, and what you want to have in the future sessions. Please do write in all any one of the videos where you have doubts, where you learned or you had some wow feeling there. Please do put in all those comments. And if you have a query, question, doubt, please put it there, and we would definitely be responding to that in there. Yeah, great, 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 great. Meanings bring feelings. Brilliant, lovely. So if we are actually having meaning, we can bring in feeling. So that is where we need to work on, and we need to see that meaning is appropriate. That's step number one, or first aspect of this powerful affirmation. Second aspect is words. What are the words that you are using? Words have tremendous power. When I say words here, it's not just about the meaning of the word, it is the vibration of those words. For example, good and wonderful, they do have separate, although we may be saying to the same thing, oh, it's a good movie, or it was a wonderful movie. When we see these two words, the vibrations are different, or it's awesome. So vibration matters a lot. So when you are using the words, see that the best vibrating word is being used in your affirmation. When you are constructing that affirmation, this slide is about constructing the affirmation. When we are creating that affirmation, it is about key to create powerful affirmation. First thing, we need to have clear idea about the meaning. Second is the power of words. Use the words which you vibrate at the highest frequency with. If you find awesome is more higher frequency than wonderful, use awesome. You have to check with yourself which word is giving you better vibration. Use those vibrations. In the ancient traditions, sometime even without meaning, some of the words are so vibrating, so higher vibration words, just by chanting certain mantras. It has been seen in the recent times in many of the experiments. They're finding they're changing in the brain waves just by the sound of those words. Very recently, I was just looking at one experiment done at Nimhans in Bangalore, where there is a very powerful uh, verse by Adi Sankaracharya, Nirvana Satakam, and Manobuddhyahankaran Chittaninaham. That chanting was done, and the probes were on a person who doesn't even know Sanskrit. He was listening it for the first time, and when that was happening, they found there was a change in the brain waves. So this vibration of certain words, and if they're chanted in a particular frequency, it affects our brain significantly. So words have power, they have vibrations. Take those vibrations, which word is changing what kind of things in you. Check your vibration with the words. So lovely. Now, so words, they have powers. Now, moving on to the next one, structure. This is about the sentence structure of the sentence. So structure here is how we are writing it. How is it that we are putting the sentence in a particular manner, organizing the sentence. In fact, if you look at language and thought and language, interestingly, for brain, both of them are same. Thought and language is kind of mediated by those brain parts which are similar, same. Wernicke's area, Broca's area, the frontal part of the lobe, some of the somatosensory cortex, the angular gyrus, some part which are same for language and for thought, because both of them have similar things. One, it is called semantics, which we discussed. Lexicon means the meaning, the word itself. Lexicon actually attaches one object to a word. So lexicon is words, meaning of the words, semantics, and syntax is the structure. Exactly, that's what we are doing here. Syntax, semantics, and lexicon. Three things: meaning, semantics, lexicon, words, and structure of the sentence. How we structure the sentence. That is so powerful. Structure of the sentence is very important here. What are the things that we need to keep in our mind? One, it has to be in affirmative, meaning that it has to be in a positive sentence. That means I will not have an affirmation like this: I don't eat, or I would not eat sweets. It's not the right affirmation. Why? Because the moment subconscious hears the word sweets, it actually ignores the word don't. That word will be transmitted to the subconscious. So negative sentences do not work here. We can do a immediate quick practice here. If I ask you, please don't remember, please don't recall what you had in lunch today. Please don't remember, please don't recall that. I'm sure most of you would have remembered what you had in lunch today. Is it true? Is it true? Just write true if it is true. As I said, don't remember what you had in lunch today. Many of us will rush back and we remember that. Does it happen? If it is true, just write true. You force yourself, no, 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 I don't want to remember lunch. That means you will remember about the lunch. Is it happening? Just write true if it is. There is a message saying that personal counseling, nowadays we do not have a scope for personal counseling, but for sure we'll be sharing a number where we can You can catch up, and whenever we start, we will take your case for the counseling. Yeah. So yeah, is it true? Many of you, when you tried not to remember about lunch, it actually happened that you remembered, end up remembering what you had in lunch. Yeah, true? Great, great, great. So now, next one. Next thing is, when we are constructing, one is no negatives. Two is, it has to be in present tense, because subconscious doesn't understand much of complexity of language. It has limited capacity to appreciate and deconstruct a language. So if you say I will do it, that means I am not that at this moment. When I say I will be happy, there is a subconscious suggestion that I am not happy. Are you getting it? If I'm saying I will be happy, I will be healthy, I will be this, that means there is a subconscious suggestion that I am not happy. That we want to avoid. So actually, why we do it present tense is, if you recall, I said identity. Identity. That identity we have to work on more. In affirmations, in affirmation, identity actually is the most powerful focus. If we actually change the identity, other things they fall into place. The goals they get achieved, processes they happen. We have to change the identity. There is a powerful book, very powerful book. I keep suggesting few of the books in my sessions. This is Atomic Habit by James Clear. Very, very important, very interesting book, and very popular book. If you have a chance, please go through that book, where he is talking about identity also. To change our habit, we need to bring in the identity transformation. Identity is, I am right now that, not will be that. The moment I say I'm will like this, there is an internal suggestion I'm not that. So in order to ensure this, we say it has to be in present tense. That means I am happy, I am healthy, I am rich, so that I can behave right from this time how a rich person behaves. I am intelligent, how an intelligent person behaves, how he conducts or she conducts himself or herself. So, this is what we say. The identity or the structure has to be: one, it has to be in a formative sentence; two, in present tense. Third, which I always suggest people do, it has to be very crisp and short. It should not be a long, winding sentence. Let me give you a quick example. I had already probably given in one of the sessions, previous sessions, this example. In 2008, when I was in corporate, I was working in marketing. There was a problem in my life, because in every corporate you have a lot of challenges, and being in marketing, there are so many challenges. The moment I get to office, I find problems are surrounding me from every side, every corner. So I had a thinking in me, my subliminal voice means my subconscious voice used to tell me, you are an unfortunate guy, you have lot of problem, you have less capability to handle problems. It's been my subconscious voice. Now that voice was limiting me. I was not able to express myself with all my potential, because what I was doing, typically what happens, the moment I think in this mode, my brain gets to the survival mode. It's a survival thought that I am incapable. I become defensive. When I get to a survival mode, my lower part of the brain are more important to function. So my higher brain areas are getting less resource. So I was naturally not in a position to give my best. After learning these things, I just changed a small or brought in a small sentence that I am a calm solution master. So what exactly it brought in is, I'm calm when there are problems. I'm not getting agitated. I'm not irritated. I'm not scared. I'm calm. Problem, calm. Immediate response is calm. Two, I'm a solution master. Means if there is a problem, I have the capability to handle that problem. I'm a solution master. I kept chanting this, that I'm a calm solution master, and felt this problem, no problem. I'll have a solution for it. So this changed a lot of things. What actually happened is, when there is a problem internally, I'm not feeling restless. Two, what I'm thinking is, are wow, a solution master needs a problem to solve. Otherwise, how he or she can be a solution master? I'm a solution master, so problem has to come and it will be solved. So that got ingrained into me. That thing is important. How to do that? It has to be very short, not a sentence of maybe some 50 words. It has to be very short, preferably within 10 words. 7 words should be the appropriate, not a very long sentence. Yeah, have shorter sentences, crisp sentences, and clear sentences with clarity, meaning, and with very simple to understand in present tense, not having any negative words in them, right? So, so far, are you enjoying and understanding? Just right, enjoying and understanding. Enjoying and understanding. After that, we have to apply. Yeah. Are you enjoying and understanding? Just let me know. Are you enjoying this and understanding the whole thing that we're discussing here? Yes. If you're enjoying and understanding, please do write that. And that will give me a sense, give me a kind of uh, feeling that all of us here, we are actually getting it. Yeah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all your responses. And now, when we get to the next one, so far, understanding, enjoying is happening. Now we have to put it to repetition, to practice abhyasa. Let's get in there. Let's see how is it working out. Yeah. So the next thing we will look to is repetition and regularity. This is so very important, so important. This is repetition and regularity is extremely important. What is important here is, first thing, we need to write it so that we keep it absolutely clear. We will not deviate from that sentence. We have to write it. Step number one, write it. And writing it in, not just once, write it multiple times. You write it as many times as you can. We suggest people to write it 21 times. If you can do it 3 times a day, even better. Write once 21 times in the morning, in the evening, before you get to bed. Just write it one journal, writing that sentence after you have cleared that sentence, approved that sentence. Your conscious mind has approved it, checking the words, checking the meaning, checking the structure. You have approved it. Now you have written that sentence. Now you are repeating it, writing and writing. So much writing that you have already, almost like you have, even if in your dream somebody asks, you can speak it out. So writing is important. Writing has power from the perspective of our three of the faculties are involved there. One, the thinking faculty. Two, where we are writing this and also feeling about that. Thinking, feeling, and kinesthetic as well. Writing, when we are moving our hands, it has its own remembrance. It can remember, it can actually absorb it. Writing becomes a, what do you call, a procedural memory. It's kind of a muscle memory that comes in. So writing is important in affirmation. Body, when writes, it has got more internal, it receives more signals, so it gets more vibrations. Writing 21 times. Please do mention that. Are you all committed to write 21 times? Like C21, committed for 21 times. C21. Let's all write that. I would urge all of you to please do write, and please do mention that you would commit to write. See, committed to 21. 21 and 21 times we'll write. You'll find the power of it. When you write it, your mind tends to be in it. You start trusting it. Just speaking sometimes doesn't give that much of confidence to the mind, but when you're writing it, it has got more power. And you can really see how this can really help you in changing things, help you in transforming your internal system. And great, great. I can see a lot of C21 coming in. Fantastic. Now, after writing it, when we write it, we don't stop there. What we do is we read it. Reading is important. Reading and reading and reading. Let's say you have written it 21 times, read it. You just look at it and read sentence as many times. Just repeat, repeat, and repeat. Why we do that? Because writing and reading, there is a little difference. One, when we're writing, that is also happening. But when we're reading, actually we're listening. I don't know how many of you have noticed, when we are reading, we also listen to it, not necessarily in words, in that exact words, but we kind of grasp it in our mind through our ears. In fact, the temporal lobe area, which processes the semantics, especially left side, it processes the meaning aspect of it, logic aspect of it. In the right temporal lobe, it receives the tonality of it, the feeling of it. Interestingly, you'll find when we are listening to a song, the words of the songs are processed in the left temporal lobe, left side of our brain, and the feeling of it is processed on the right temporal lobe, right side of the brain. So, such a sophisticated mechanism that we have. Yeah. So, we are joining, when we're reading, we are also getting the feeling of it, getting the language, getting the feeling of it. So read with feeling. That's what I was saying. Read with feeling. Just do write that. RWF. Read with feeling. When you're reading, you should feel that. That's what will give you power. Reading with feeling. RWF. I'm asking you to write because I want all of you to actually practice it. I'm so excited to see that all of you here would practice it and take it further, apply in your life, see the transformation happening in your life. That would be the best tribute to our journey together on this path. Great, great, great. I can see. Yeah. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see that. Wonderful. Now, coming to the next one. The next one is, it's about speaking, it's about uttering. When I say speaking, it has to be spoken loudly. I am a calm solution master. Speak it. If you cannot speak, people are around, you can mentally rehearse and speak as if you're listening to it with that vibration of words. I am healthy person, I am a smart person, I'm a rich man, I'm so fit. Utter that. I do exercise daily. I enjoy doing exercise. Utter that. Speak it out. Speak it out. So we are using, if you see, we are applying using all the faculties: writing, reading, speaking, listening. All these faculties are doing it. So the subconscious cannot help but to receive. We replace the earlier sounds, earlier subliminal messages, which are saying, oh, you are a fat, ugly person. You are having so much of negative things. You are angry. You are a scared man. You are not having sufficient confidence. All these negative vibrations in the subliminal state, in the subconscious state, which are there, we are now replacing them. We are removing them, injecting new vibrations. New vibrations. Let's all write new vibration. And what we are actually doing by that is the last step. We become that inner voice. This is actually not a step, this is a state. Not a step, it is a state. What does it mean? That I become, that voice is instilled now in me. After doing all those repetitions, that voice is instilled in me. It has been completely absorbed inside, completely in every cell of the body. Now know that change, that transformation, that internal transcendence is possible if we are following the steps that we discussed. Instill that inner voice. That voice becomes you. It becomes your part. It becomes spontaneous inside. You are not trying to remember anymore. You don't need to utter anymore. It just becomes that. Till that time, you have to keep practicing. It's like driving the car, very conscious, repeat it, practice it till you become so proficient in that that you need not think about clutch, accelerator, brake, and gear. It just happens. Similarly, here, that voice becomes your subliminal voice. All of us, we can now write. It is that subliminal voice. It is that subliminal voice. RWF, I think, reading with feeling. That's what we said. Yeah. Now, instill that inner voice into yourself. This is the final step. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to bring in. And having said that, now let's now look at few of the things. Yeah. Now, few things I would suggest you to do. One is, after this session, after we complete, maybe another 5-7 minutes we have, after the completion of the session, we have done almost entire week from Monday till today. You have experienced something, you have felt something. Please do write in any one of these videos. Write what you've learned. Write what is your experience. That will give us some sense that how has it been. And your comments, anything that you would like to know more on, what you are probably looking forward to further in your journey, maybe you can write these things. Give some suggestion to us, topics that you'd like to hear in the coming days. Next week, when we bring in such live sessions, maybe we'll have little change in time. The timing from next week, maybe the days will not, may not be the same days, but we will announce the days earlier. It will be from 8 p.m. from Monday or Tuesday. We'll announce that very soon. So 8 p.m. would be the time. So please do join. Just if you can mention that 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is right for you, all of you here. I can see about 30 people who are there. Many are there, so if you can just mention 8 p.m. Great. So let's catch up again. But before that, I would urge all of you, please, to give your suggestions in the comment box. Write down the topics you would like to hear from, whether it is on, let's say, on anxiety management, on stress management, on time management, or on people management, on relationship management, on managing your body effectively. Various things about life we can discuss on. Or you want to have some spiritual topic, like specific understanding about a specific aspects of life. What is the bhakti aspect, the jnana aspect? So different things you may have in mind. So please do suggest us. We'll try to bring those things and try to help you, or collectively can traverse through that journey. And I would certainly would urge all of you to please make this journey, make it more and more accessible to more and more people. That way we can change many things in many people's life. So please do share, please do like the things, so that our the algorithm of YouTube would reach, or make this videos reach a larger audience, as we see more comments, more likes, and more sharing is happening on this. So I would urge all of you to please do that. And thank you very much. Anything else that you have, maybe you can please feel free to put it. And we will be closing maybe in next 1 minute or so. I trust all of us, we have been doing great. Let's all continue with this journey, and remember what we discussed today. Application is important. We started with knowing how to do the affirmation, how to, where we should have affirmation, different aspects of life: physical, mental, relationship area, work area, wealth area. Affirmation can be having different dimensions. And then we discussed about affirmation in categories: goal affirmation, process affirmation, and identity affirmation. Then we discussed about how to apply them. So you have to write them. Rather, we discussed about how to create them. We have to have the right meaning, powerful words, and the sentence should be appropriately structured. How to repeat them, write them down, read them aloud, and then we also speak, utter them, so that it becomes part of us. Finally, we become that internal subconscious voice changes. Yeah, that's what we do. At a subconscious level, the voice, inner voice, changes. This is changing that inner voice, transforming our life by changing the inner voice. So this was the journey. Thank you very much for being part of this journey. I would definitely urge all of you to please do join in our next live session, which we'll be sharing very soon, and you can catch up with us for uh, another very interesting topic. Suggestion are most welcome. Thank you and God bless.